So what I want to do is I want to create this UFO kind of shape with a whole bunch of sort of almost pizza wedge type pieces that are cloned into a circular clone, and then I can make a UFO shape. So I've got a cube, I've created a cloner. Let's drag and drop the cube into the cloner. Now the first thing it does is it will create 3 copies and it'll stack them on top of each other, which is not what I want. What I want is actually, I want a ring of clones. So far we've had a look at this linear, this line of clones. We also looked at the object where we can spread clones across an object. One thing we can see as well, we've got a radial clone. So a radial clone makes a circular ring of them. So once I do that, I get a thing that is not what I want. So what I need to change here is I've definitely got this ring going on, but it seems to be in the wrong axis. Rather than spinning them around like chunks of pizza, it's kind of flipped them on its side. So where the radial cloner becomes really useful is where we start looking at which plane we're duplicating these clones in. Now if I click on this plane button, there's only 3 different options. I have no idea what the right option is. There's only 3, so I'm just going to try them all until I get the right one. It's not XY, it's not ZY. Aha! Now we're looking a little bit more interesting. It's got these clones and they're kind of lying flat. They're not in the right position yet, so maybe I can use my transform settings to shift these around. So let's go into this transform tab and let's change the X. Oh, okay, that's kind of interesting. X position, Y, no, I don't want that. Z, that could be interesting. What if I set my X back to 0? Z axis, that's what I want. So now I've got this ring of pieces. They're just cubes at the moment. We'll come back and fix that later. But if I play with this Z value in my transform, I can push these out a little bit. I can go back to my object tab and I can have maybe a few more of these. Maybe I'll have 8. Okay, so I can imagine now if I got this cube shape and if I used maybe some deformers to sort of shape it into a pizza wedge type shape, maybe if I got a little bit clever with my cube and maybe rounded the edges of it because it's got that fillet function, maybe I could build something that makes it look a little bit more like this. This is quite circular as well, so maybe I need something like a bend or something to make the edge of the circular, but I'm on the right track now anyway because I've got this radial bunch of clones, so now I can try and fix this. So what I want to do is make my cube into some kind of a wedge shape, sort of a pizza slice type shape. Now what I might just do, while I'm working, is I'm going to turn off my cloner so I don't get confused by all these other cubes. I'm just going to turn that off. Let's go back to my cube and I'm going to create a deformer, some kind of a taper deformer to make this thing sort of a wedge shape.